Welcome to Scott Bryson Beyond the Service. We're going to talk about criminal behavior one more time. We talk about that from time to time, and we're going to always talk about that because I've got 30 years of experience in law enforcement and public safety and protection and different things. So I'm going to talk about what I know about. If you need me to rebuild your transmission or put a deck on your house, I'm not the guy. If you need me to secure something to include your person, I'm probably going to be able to be a little bit helpful. So I'm going to talk to you about some things that I know about and some things that I know work, and we can talk about some things that don't work too. So let's just get into it. Let's talk about some of the virtual footprints that we leave and that can be just as effective for them or ineffective for us. So I have this one story that I want to tell really quickly about my time in the Secret Service when I was stationed in London. My cousin and his family were coming over to visit, and I was at the airport to pick them up. I was super excited to see them and everything like that. And I noticed this older gentleman who turned out he was about 85 or 86. I can't remember. He was an older guy, and he was tall, thin, nice looking older guy. And he had on a World War II hat or a Navy hat or something like that. And so I could tell, it looked to me like he had been a World War II vet, but he had like a duffel bag. It was very odd. He looked confused. He was by himself. He was just standing there. And he was kind of looking around, like looking for, because he's at the gate. So it's like he was looking for, to me, it looked like he was looking for someone, his ride or whatever, but he wasn't outside. So it was kind of weird. And I'm like, wow, I really don't want to talk to this guy because I didn't have any identification on my person at the time. Plus, I was in a foreign country with no real jurisdiction. But I thought, well, common sense rules of the day. Let me just talk to him because my cousin and his family were on the next flight coming in. So I thought I had a few minutes. So I start talking to this guy, and I'm like, hey, sir, how you doing? See that you were in the Navy, tried to break the ice. Were you in World War II? Yes. I thank you for your service. Both of my grandfathers were. Just made small talk like that, kind of break the ice. And then I was like, started asking him some questions. Now, I'm a random stranger. He probably shouldn't have been talking to me. But I told him the truth, which doesn't mean people that come up and tell you something are telling the truth. But I wasn't like, hey, I'm a Secret Service agent. I'm stationed in the embassy here. I'm just a little concerned. You look like you might be lost or something. Do you need any help? And he's like, no, I'm here to meet so-and-so. I'm supposed to go to this hotel. I'm like, okay. And then the way we were talking, and I won't bore you with all of the conversation, but because it was 15 years ago anyway, but the conversation led me to believe that he was getting duped. It was like a Ponzi scheme. These people, they still do it, I guess. I hadn't seen it much lately, but they do send out mass emails saying, hey, the king of such and such country has $24 million, but it's tied up in taxes. And if you'll give us such a money, we'll pay you 10%. So what happens is if they send out thousands and thousands of emails and they get 1%, like that's a pretty good number, right? And so what they do is they prey on older people who are vulnerable, like maybe naive, or they're greedy. Now, this guy had been a dentist. He'd been in World War II. He was very smart. He was probably pretty well off. That dude had $10,000 in cash in that bag. And I was like, sir, around 10, maybe just a little under. And again, he probably shouldn't have told me this stuff, but thankfully I was a good guy helping him instead of just some criminal. But after we were talking, I said, I'm guessing you have that bag's probably full of money. Because what he had told me was he had flown over by himself. He's married. His wife hadn't paid. He wasn't a widower. He was married. His wife was in Florida. He had connected through Charlotte or whatever. He traveled all night to get to London. And he was flying back the next day. I'm like, oh, red flag. No one flies to London for a night unless you're a CIA spook and you're on a private plane. That does not happen. And so I'm like, that bag's full of money, isn't it? And he's like, how do you know? I'm like, because I told you this is what I do for a living. This is what I investigate. It's white collar crime. And I said, you probably have somewhere between, $8,500 and $10,000 in that bag. And he said, yes, I do. And I don't remember the exact number, but it was a lot of money. The bottom line is he was there to give his money away. He was going to go to some hotel room. Now, I don't think anything would have happened to him. We'll never know. But his ride, his car service, at first I thought they were in on it, but they weren't. So it was just they ordered a car service to pick him up and take him to Hotel X, and he was going to go up to room Y and do the thing. And then they were just going to milk him. They were just going to continue to milk him. Because this poor man had flown all the way across the ocean with a bag of money. He had no suitcases, no nothing, no toothbrush. He was just flying in and flying out. And I'm like, you can't do that. So anyway, that's a problem. And I tell that story because hopefully if there's someone watching this tonight, like, don't fall for it. If it's too good to be true, it's too good to be true. Okay. These people, and they do it with these love scams too. A lot of times in my last duty station, Wilmington, there was a woman, her husband had passed away, and she was lonely, which is normal. People get lonely. I get it. And she had given away like $250,000. She was almost bankrupt. She had gone through all the money he had left her, and she had a pretty nice house and stuff like that. And so, we were asked to intervene. She hadn't done anything wrong. The problem is these criminals are in Nigeria or, somewhere, India, I don't know. They're calling you from a calling station, right? And they're always promising you this and they're promising you that. It's not true. So if there's anybody out there tonight that's in a little bit of an older audience watching this, or if you know someone that might fit that demographic, please share this information with them. If these people are emailing you or calling you, and like it starts with emails, but then it goes into text messages and then it goes into phone calls, and it's a real person on the real end of the phone promising you the moon, it's not true. And so we have to be super careful. And that's just one story. Two little stories I want to share with you guys, because I was able to, well, the lady, I don't know. I don't think we got through to her. There was a local cop and then me and another agent. We were trying to talk some sense into her, and we couldn't convince her. And the problem is I started doing that job in 1998. So I went to the academy in 97, got out in 98. So from 1998 through 2022, it was the same MO. And I was investigating these crimes 25 years ago. And it's obviously a new generation and new people. But these older folks, they get it in their head that this person loves me and this person's coming to marry me and this person is going to do this person is going to give me money. No, they're not. No, they're not. So if you know of anybody that fits into that category, please share this video with them, because they're being played.